Getting closer, of course, to SummerSlam, and I want to make sure that I remind everybody we have WrestleRumble.com, which we always promote, where you can go
and you always lose.
And you answer questions, make predictions about SummerSlam. Well, guess what? They're doing something new. They're adding another option. You can get 1 entry or 3 entries, depending on what you want in the past. Now they're doing something where you're going to get 5 entries for SummerSlam for $30. And for every time somebody does that option, they're going to take $5 out of that $30 and donate it towards my fundraising campaign that I'm doing with the American Cancer Society.
Great.
So you can get some more entries for WrestleRumble.com. It makes the show that much more enjoyable to watch. Win some up to $500 first prize. And again, if you decide to do the $30 entry for 5, then you will be donating to a great cause. So let's talk about one of the matches that's going to be at SummerSlam, and that is Big Show versus Big Cass, Battle of the Bigs, with Enzo Amore in a shark cage.
It's the 3rd shark cage match since November with the NXT one and then the one at the Rumble. We need to have Eisenberg in a cage, you and me. Yeah.
You're still waiting for this.
Yeah,
this
I
fight.
want a cage match. We got
want
400 coming up.
You want the MMA fight, I know.
Let's go. It's 2-minute rounds.
Yeah, the shark cage. Enzo's in the shark cage.
I don't know what's going to happen.
With the way things are going in WWE with the reported dislike of it, who knows? Enzo's probably petrified of heights. And this is probably punishment to him.
Yeah, either that or he'll just stay in the cage the whole night. They just won't let him down. The whole entire show, he's just up there.
But they don't want him to be a distraction, so they raise
him
him
higher. Yep. He's just way up
above
there.
the scaffolding.
Exactly. It doesn't matter with that.
Is this like I mean, Big Show obviously comes and goes with his TV storylines. Is this like the big guy that WWE's had, like kind of like christening like the new big guy?
You think it's just like a passing of the torch?
I don't. But
even though Roman's a big guy too, but Big Cass is a little bit different.
This Big Cass is a legit 7 foot.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns. I mean, this is
Roman's got a different spot.
Big Cass next to Big Cass and Braun Strowman are your 2 legit biggest guys.
Yeah.
Well, in Big Show, but it's like this kind of feels like Braun's been kind of
who? Thank you.
Has been christened, and he's of course fighting for the Universal title. It feels like Big Cass might be the other one. He's a little bit lower in the card.
Level up. So you think this is necessary?
This has to be Big Cass winning. And then what happens? Like,
yeah.
does Enzo get lowered and Cass just like
beats him up again?
Is that what happens?
Yep. I hope that's exactly what happens.
Leaves him unconscious. They raise the cage back up,
and he's just like passed out in the cage.
What's next for Big Cass? Well, there's no more Enzo.
There's nothing left for. Well, first off, what's next for Enzo is almost NXT at this point. If the rumors are true that he's having all this heat and everything, and this is another thing where he's in a pay-per-view in his hometown, and for years we thought, oh, him and Cass are going to win the tag titles in Brooklyn and all these things, and now he's not even in a match. He's in a shark cage.
Yeah. You don't want, and Enzo fans, you don't want him to go to 205 Live. You don't. 205 Live is not the place for Enzo to go.
He'll be the most charismatic, but that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. And here's another thing. Here's the real life issue of it, is that if there is legit issues with him and a lot of the rest of the locker room, if he's on 205 Live, he's still traveling with that same roster.
Yeah, it won't really
If
matter.
you go to NXT, he's away from them. It's kind of like what we hear about when they put Morrow down in NXT. They said he won't have to be on the road with JBL anymore.
Yeah.
Enzo and Morrow can bond in NXT.
Do you hate Enzo now too?
I don't hate Enzo. I don't hate Morrow.
Yeah, you do.
I don't hate Morrow.
Come on.
Morrow probably doesn't. He doesn't like me, but I don't hate Morrow.
I don't like you either.
Well, then I
don't think anybody here likes
you. Let's go to Fort Lauderdale, where Josh does not like
God.
me either. Josh, what's going to happen here on the final Raw before SummerSlam?
I can tolerate Eisenberg, though.
Thanks, guys. Wrapping up the week here, Chairshot Reality on WrestleZone.com. We are less than 1 week away from the biggest party of the summer, SummerSlam, from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. What needs to happen, though, on the final Raw before SummerSlam? Well, you got to end it with the Fatal 4-Way feud. You got to end it with guys like Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman. You got to end it with Samoa Joe. But who will be the upper hand? Who will get the upper hand heading into SummerSlam? Well, you see, this past week, Samoa Joe got the upper hand, even though Braun won the Last Man Standing match. Roman Reigns never needs an upper hand because he's Roman Reigns, he's already established. I want to see Brock Lesnar destroy the other 3 guys because I think he is the favorite to retain the Universal Championship at SummerSlam. Let Brock Lesnar do what Brock Lesnar does. Let's show him more than 1 segment. Let's put him on 2 segments. I want to see a backstage interview where he bashes the guys and then have it later on in the night where he attacks all 3 of them. That needs to happen. And what also needs to happen, you have to find a way to put Matt and Jeff on the card. The Hardy Boys are the most over tag team that WWE has right now, and putting them off of the card because of an injury from the Revival and not replacing them in some sort of match, potentially a triple threat tag team match, that's going to be a disaster. So find Seth Rollins, find Dean Ambrose, put those 2 guys together, finally reform the Shield, because everybody's excited about that, and have Sheamus and Cesaro, along with the Hardys, along with those 2 guys. I'd love to see my boys, the Club, there, but we already have a Fatal 4-Way match, and the Hardys right now are more important to put on that card than any other tag team in WWE.